Dewsbury 0, Halifax 36, showing this in the Oldham result kind of show that anything can happen in this division week to week. And then the round and the weekend finished with a very exciting encounter. York 12, Featherstone 16. It was 12-all with around about 4 or 5 minutes to play. The young halfback on loan from Warrington, I want to say Riley Dean, but I might be wrong, but I think that's his name, lined up a drop goal attempt, but it was charged down by Fev. It bounced neatly into the hands of Craig Hall, who just about had the wheels to go 75 metres to plonk it down next to the sticks and secure the win for Fev in a exciting and close encounter between a York side that are now hit their straps and the Featherstone side that are still 100%.
So the standings, Toulouse and Featherstone are still 100%, as you said, both with 4 from 4. Batley and Bradford make up the other top 4 and 80%, both having won 4 and lost 1. Sheffield and London each have a 50% record. Then there's a group of 5 on 40% made up of Halifax, York, Whitehead and Dewsbury and Oldham. Newcastle and Widnes both have 30%, and Swinton stayed bottom with yet to get off the mark.
It was round 1 of League One. League One was back this weekend, and it started with London Scholars hosting North Wales. It finished 44 points to 24 in favour of the Crusaders.
And Shodia Mungo says, sluggish start from North Wales, perhaps due to their late arrival in a blustery London. Scholars took the lead, but the Crusaders got back on top and ran away in the end.
And Dr. Hideous said, the scoreline flat as the Scholars. Apart from a great first 10 minutes, they didn't really impress at all. Shameful tip tackle from George Roby on Lamont Bryan, which he followed up with a knee to the face when Bryan was on the ground and got away with only a penalty. Deserved a card and he'll get a ban. I guess we'll find out more about that on Thursday when the semi-pro teams get their scrutinisation. Don't know why the Patrick Arvan try was in the try of the week. Our league try of the week for this game. Some sort of hard on they've got for the former Widnes and Bradford man, because I saw 20 tries better than that this weekend. But anyway, fair enough. It was Hunslet 16, Workington 28. Lots of tries from dummy half in that game. Coventry 20, Barrow 38. So the Bears competitive there against one of the favourites for the division. Keighley 44, Doncaster 18. Great win for the Cougars, running away with this one in the end. It was quite tight in the early stages. It was 18-all at one point, but Keighley with a class of that one in the end in what was our League One game of the week, but unfortunately no fan views on that one. And Rochdale 40, West Wales 16. All the big old names were out in force in this one, but the result went as expected.
So, moving on to the NRL, it was round 9, and there were some real blowout scores in this week's comp, as indeed there have been in one or two of the other games so far this year. And it started off with an astonishing Storm 50, Rabbitohs 0, which is amazing. Mark Butler sent a comment in.
Yeah, Tom Burgess did play for the Rabbitohs, but they don't think they had enough ball to put up any stats.
They did. Mark Butler says, no blowout scores in the NRL. Claxon. Early Rabbitohs try chalked off for a marginal forward pass, but after that they may as well have sat in the corner as if watching someone else complete a 147 break. Melbourne broke the line at will with a mind-boggling 6 tries for Josh Adokar. I do think he's a really good player, but 6 tries is just ridiculous. Particularly mind-boggling, it was only when he scored his 4th that the commentators wanted to talk about him.
And I bet then they spent most of the time talking about the fact that he was going to be leaving the Storm. David Hunter said, the fans were asking, why did the Tigers let Benji go? This game may help answer that. Will Souths be the first team to win the NRL after having 50 or more points scored against them in a game? We will see.
Probably not. It was Panthers 48, Sharks 0 in yet another huge blowout, although less surprising. The Panthers playing very well. And then the Eels 31, Roosters 18, and we got a comment on this one.
Yeah, David Hunter, Eels fan, said the Roosters wanted to act tough early on and spear tackle players. Their defence was awesome and the Eels struggled to break them, but I was impressed with the composure and patience that they showed, and it paid off in the end. So many people up in arms with the Dylan Brown incident, but it seems to be in response to the outcome for Drew. I feel sorry for Drew and hope he's okay, but watch it in full speed. Yeah, Drew Hutchinson, formerly Centurions halfback, got a punctured lung, I believe, in this game, which is awful for him. So hopefully a full and speedy recovery for him.
It was the Raiders 16, the Knights 24 in a tightly fought game. There was some British participation, some Super League participation in this. We had George Williams with 1 try assist. Elliot Whitehead made 112 metres, and Sutton also played.
Yeah, Williams obviously reportedly homesick. I would suspect that is Mrs. being pregnant is playing a role into that for them both. It would be their first child, and you'd probably be wanting to be at home with your family and stuff around you when you're gonna be going through that experience. I certainly would.
just another pie eater missing the pies. That's what it is, man.
Well, there's Warrington are the favourites apparently to capture his signature, but Wigan will potentially have some money to spend with Oliver Gildart strongly rumoured to be going to West Tigers with Jackson Hastings. So we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't be hugely shocked if Leeds were in for him too. You never know if Catalans might make a play, because what's going to happen there with maybe Maloney? He's at the far end of his career, isn't he? And hey, if Saints lose a couple of big names, they might want to make a splash as well. So,
yeah, I think Saints are hoping to invest time in Dodd as
I was only
Saints.
I wasn't serious about that last one, but I do think there'll be plenty of suitors for George Williams. It won't be a case of Mr. Lenigan getting away with his hometown discount so straightforwardly. No. I don't feel this time around. And why should he want to when we can bring back one of the best halfbacks our competition's had in the last 5 years? He's been a very good player and has only improved in the NRL, so hopefully we can bring him back. Anyway.
West Tigers 28, Justin Holbrook's Mighty Titans 36.
Mark Butler got in touch. He said the Titans showing again that they love a bit of basketball game, although this one went in their favour. They raced out of the traps in the same way as they did against Brisbane recently, and just like then, they let their opponents back into the game before half-time. But this time they began the second half with the same vigour as the first, giving themselves enough of a lead to win, even though they ran out of puff again.
It was the Cowboys 19, the Broncos 18. Herbie Farnworth made 230 metres. That's a hell of a performance from Farnworth there.
He's reacted to Sean Wayne dropping him, hasn't he?
There you go.
Seagulls 38, Warriors 32, and we finish with the Dragons 32, the hapless Bulldogs 12. But Luke Thompson did go both ways. 137 metres and 46 tackles for the former Saints man. Yeah,
he's starting to have a bit more of an impact this year than he had at the start of his career over in the NRL. Maybe a change of coaches helping him.
It's irrelevant, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally.
Ultimately, he can have all the impact he wants from propping that side. It's not gonna
have any effect. Rubbish.
No.
Standings: the Panthers stay top and keep up their 100% record with 9 wins from 9. The Eels are out on their own in second on 16 points. The Storm and Rabbitohs make up the top 4 with 14. Roosters have 12. Dragons 10. The Titans in 7th lead a group of 5 and 8 points with the Warriors, Sea Eagles, Knights and Cowboys alongside them. The Raiders fall to 12th on 6. With the Sharks, Broncos and Tigers all on 4, the Bulldogs are bottom on 2.
we did get a fan viewing on another game this
Good
week,
Lord.
and it was David Hunter getting in touch about the Parramatta Eels second side against the North Sydney Bears. And David said, this New South Wales Cup Eels side is starting to click. Joey Lussick and Jordan Rankin have been good, but there are also so many young Eels that have started to show some real class. Jacob Arthur looks like a taller Tim Smith in his running and passing style that I've started to call him T2. The kid just glides across the field. Let's hope he doesn't glide into the same sort of problems Tim Smith encountered off the field.
Indeed.
But, interesting to get updates there on Joey Lussick and Jordan Rankin. David, if you are going to send in a fan review from a game that's off the beaten track, tell us the score as well so we can mention that, because as much as I love you, David, I'm not going to go out of my way to look for what the reserve grade scorelines were in the New South Wales.
Got enough to do.
No. But interesting, Joey Lussick's a player that could still be playing in Super League, couldn't he? Definitely, if he was over here. And I didn't know Jordan Rankin had ended up at the Eels.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't know.
In their feeder system. Good stuff. Okay, let's move on to our predictions, David. Right, we're back into Super League then. Round 6 is coming up this week, and as people will be aware, most of the games are going to be played on Monday night. First time that we're going to get a lot of games on at the same time as each other. But we do have a Friday night game to get the TV quota filled up, and that's at 7:45pm kickoff, Leeds versus Wakefield. David, who do you see winning this game?
Well, much as Wakefield have improved, I do think Leeds will probably just squeak on, but I don't think it's going to be a wide margin. I'd say Leeds by 4.
Yeah, I feel like Wakefield have some sort of wood over Leeds, but they didn't manage to pull it off in the first round, did they?
No.
When they were very competitive in that match. I don't know where Leeds are at the moment, and I don't know who's in charge of that side, and I'm not sure if Luke Gale will be playing, so I'm going to go a bit out there and say Wakefield pick up the first win of the season. They'll do it for the coach like they did a couple of times last year.
Mm-hmm.
Wakefield in a messy 8-point win.
8? Ooh. Okay, very good.
We move on to Monday then. They're all 7:45pm kickoffs, these, and crowds will be in at the Jungle. Castleford versus Hull KR. I don't see it going any other way than a Castleford win, even though Hull KR have been competitive. Of late, I just think if it's going to go score for score, Castleford will have an extra score. So I'm going to go cast by 10.
I'm on cast by 10 as well.
Fair play. Next up, it's Lee versus Wigan. Lee gave Wigan an almighty scare in round 1, but do we think that they're going to be up to it again in front of their vociferous home crowd, of course, against the team they hate more than any other?
The bus stop derby.
Do you think Lee can do it?
No. No, I honestly don't. I think much improved as they've been at times, that they haven't been consistently good. They keep chopping and changing the team week to week. Fans all know I think Wigan will have too much for them, and I think Wigan will win relatively comfortably by 10 points.
Yeah, I think Wigan by 10 or 12. As things, end up that way, but I'm sure Lee will be very physical and competitive for an hour or so of this one, like they have been against Wigan and Saints previously. We're on to your boys next. Saints versus Salford.
Yep. This is the second time we'll have played Salford this year. I'm going to be on the road, sadly, for this one, so I'm kind of hoping I don't get drawn in the ballot for this game, and that I get drawn in the next ones. But there you go. I